Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'd like to assume that was a really long lunch break. I see we have 41 people in the room. Just to confirm that these are not people who have left us and gone to eat. Kindly say hello in the chat box or use the reaction button or raise your hand. Something. Let's know that people are back. Great. I see Nadia's hand up. I see Justice Code Foundation saying hello. I see hi, Kevin. Nice to have you back. Hello, Janice. Welcome back. Just looking around the room to see if very well. I see MS Training Center says we are here. Good to have you. Hi, Andrew. Welcome back. So we have a couple more minutes. I think we'll just see and ensure that people are back. I see more hands raised. Lovely. Good to have everyone back. Hope you had a lovely lunch break. For those that are presenting during the afternoon session, I hope you're not so tense. I hope you were able to grab some coffee or something to eat at least. Okay, I don't see any more hands. So maybe we'll just give it a few more minutes and see if we'll have more people come back to their computers because obviously they're connected. They're probably still having lunch. Hello, Damien. Hi, Haben. Good to have you back. I'll just do a quick round with my colleagues just to know that the judges are back. Kayode, are you back?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Hello, Janet. Good to have you back.
Hi, Precious. I'm not sure if it was my internet, but you were breaking, but yes, I'm here.
Okay, sorry. So let me just check if my internet is back on. I don't know if Taye is here and if you can hear me.
Hi, Precious. Yes, I can hear you. You can hear me as well.
Yes, I can come back. I see Kevin already responded in the chat box. Hello, Kevin. Good to have you back.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you so much. So I think we have all the judges here, and we could give it one more minute, and then hi Janice, can you hear me? Sorry, I'm just about to change my internet from my Wi-Fi. I see you say I'm breaking. So just give me 2 seconds and I'll be right back.
Sure, no worry.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Precious, we
Thanks,
can hear
Leon.
you.
Okay, very well. Can I confirm that Eva is back? Okay, very well. All right then. So I think we'll move right into the second phase of our pitching for this afternoon. So we had one person from the morning session who was unable to pitch due to connectivity issues. So I think we'll start off with Justice Code Foundation. Just to give a bit of background, Justice Code Foundation is from Zimbabwe, and Zimbabwe is in Southern Africa, and his proposed language of pitch is English language. So can I confirm if Justice Code Foundation is back?
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right, yeah, we're back. So I wanted to share a screen.
Okay, so just give me 1 second. Let me verify from the judges if they can hear you now as well, just so it's not me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Janice? Okay, I think I see Ty saying he can hear you. Very well then, so I think we're good to go. Would you like to share your screen?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, very well then, so let me know when you're ready to go. Sorry, just before that, I know we're supposed to have a recap. So maybe I'll call my colleague Janice to quickly do a recap of the morning session. Sincere apologies, Justice.
All right, that's fine.
All right, over to you, Janice.
Okay, thank you so much, Precious, and thank you so much for everybody who came back after lunch. So let me just take us through some of the presentations on the initiatives that we've had so far. So we heard from Afro Leadership, who discussed a little bit about a platform for citizen participation in local government that is already in 7th District in Yaoundé. Then we had Amnesty International, in Mali, whose project proposes the reinforcement of an innovative solution that focuses on deployment of technologies for the benefit of human rights defenders. Then after that, we heard from Chad Innovation, which is a platform that popularizes national dialogue themes and facilitates citizen engagement on public policy. After that, we listened to Connected Development Initiative, which has existing and proven civic tech initiatives that strengthen accountability of public funds. Then we listened to Elect Her, where we heard about clear expertise on web development and existing solutions that could be upscaled beyond the Nigerian context. Then we listened to For Equality. We heard about empowered information tools via WhatsApp, relevant to democratic governments, but more for public accountability. We were unable to hear from Justice Code Foundation, but we will be hearing from them as soon as we're done with this recap. Then we handed over to Legal Wallet Limited, which was on relevant democratic engagement platforms in Malawi, which also has multiple functions of the platform that still needs to be developed. Now that we've had that brief overview and we've had that recap, over back to you, Precious, so that we can hand over to Justice to give us their initiative.
Very well said, Janice. Thank you so much for that recap. I think it was very wholesome, capturing all of the initiatives that were seen during the first session or the morning session earlier today. So I will now be introducing Justice Code Foundation. Please, if you could share your screen and then we can start. Thank you. Yes, I think we can see your screen now. Are you good to go?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Very well. Your time starts now.
Hello, we are Justice Code Foundation, and our solution focuses on two priorities to the core. The first one is elections. We've noticed that there is low voter turnout in Zimbabwe owing to a centralized voter registration system by the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. And of the 16 million of the Zimbabwean population, so far only 25,603 have registered to vote. And we are coming to a point where we have March 2022 by-elections and also the approaching 2023 harmonized elections. The second area is youth participation. Of the 16 million, 75% are youths, and research indicates that less than 1 in 5 youths know about the Constitution of Zimbabwe, and also only 2.85% are represented in the National Assembly in Zimbabwe. So our solution, the vote board, is there to empower youths on the laws and systems that govern elections, and also make it convenient for them to be able to register to vote. Our solution is technically viable because we're going to use WhatsApp platform, which accounts to 44% of data usage in Zimbabwe, and so it is easy to adopt. And Zimbabwe is already in an election mood, which is as a result of the March by-elections and the 2023 harmonized elections. Our solution will be cost effective in the sense that we're going to engage via Africa shuttle services to be able to provide services to those who want to register. And we'll also use WhatsApp as a platform to reach out to our users. And that in itself is cheaper to develop, and as compared to introducing a new mobile application, and user acquisition as well is cheaper. Then we're going to add value in the sense that we're going to target the Z generation, which owns 95%, which according to research, 95%
Thank you very much. Thank you. Your time is up. That's exactly 2 minutes. I'll now be handing over to the judges to see if they have any questions for you. Just give me 1 second. I see Demola's hand up. Over to you, Demola.
Thanks, Precious, and thanks for the presentation. Just a quick question around, my sense is you're building a WhatsApp chatbot and for elections happening this year, next year in Zimbabwe, to provide information. Has this been built? Do you have any users in your community that will, test this app?
Thank you, Demola. I think I'll look around the room to see if there's any other question from any of the judges. I do not see Janice's hand up. No, Kayode. Okay, so over to you, Justice Code, for your question. So you have 5 minutes to respond to Demola's question and give any additional information you might want to. Your time starts now, Justice.
All right, thank you so much, and thank you for the pertinent question. Our solution, yes, is in the testing phase, and we have been able to assist users, especially if you look at option number 4. A user can book a ride with us, and we can then be able to provide them to their nearest voter registration center. So far we've been able to assist up to 58 users, but as a result of limited funds, we haven't been able to reach out to other people as well. But we've noticed tremendous need for this solution, and also besides those whom we have helped in terms of booking of our services, we've also noticed over 351 users visiting our platform, and mainly interested in option number 1, 2, and 3 to know what the law and what the systems say about elections, and also some checking their voter registration status.
Thank you very much. I see Janice has a follow-up question. You still have 3 minutes to go. So over to you, Janice.
Thanks, Precious. Thank you so much, Justice, for that presentation. Maybe just for clarity, so the VIA services, I'm assuming that that's kind of like an Uber or transportation service. Are they partnered with you so that if users are communicating, then they're able to get their rides through that mode, or are you providing funding to them as well so that they can provide you with that support?
All right. So
thank you, Janice. Sorry, just 1 second. I see Kayode, so you take both questions together. Over to you, Kayode.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. There was something you actually mentioned as well with regards to voters being able to check their voting status. Is there like an API connection you have to the government database for this, or how do you plan to implement this?
All right.
Over to you, Justice.
All right. Thank you so much. To address the first question, yeah, so for those that we've been able to help, we have worked with VIA and also other tax services, but we have noticed that Via was cheaper. And in that regard, when we started, we weren't offering in a person who just simply book, but we realized that to those that are within the generation that we are targeting, they couldn't participate because they didn't have the money to then get an Uber or a taxi. So to those that we've assisted by providing an already paid for Uber or a taxi. Then the second question, yes, we have a link to the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission database that when a user clicks, it will then require details. The person will just input their name and their national ID number. Then they will be able to see their registration details, the sender that they have registered, and see any other registration, election registration details that they would want to know.
Thank you very much, Justice Code. Right on time. Very well said. And thank you to the judges for the questions. If there is no further question, well, Justice has barely 30 seconds to go. We'll take the next presenter. If you could stop sharing your screen, Justice, so we can proceed. The next presenter is Malawi Local Government Association, MALGA. MALGA is from Malawi, and Malawi is in the southern part of Africa, and they would present in English. Can I confirm if MALGA is ready to present? MALGA? I do not see any representative from Malawi Local Government Association trying to come in. Okay, I think we'll go to the next presenters, and that is MamaPay Limited. MamaPay is from Uganda, and Uganda is in the eastern part of Africa, and it was presenting in English language. MamaPay, over to you. Would you like to share your screen?
Yes, I don't know if you can be able to see my screen
now. Yes, I can see your screen now. Just give me 1 second to reset the timer, and your time starts now.
All right, thank you, Precious. My name is Charles, and I'm here with my colleague, Louis, and we're happy to present a product called eCitizen. So eCitizen is a citizen engagement platform that facilitates citizen engagement and participation in governance and development of their communities. So what problem are we solving? Citizens today have limited digital tools that help them access their leaders directly in order to voice their concerns to them. This could be because of bureaucracy or the cost, or because there's no unifying platform where they can actually voice their concerns. Now, our solution, we developed the eCitizen platform, which is a web and mobile platform that inclusively connects citizens to their respective leaders to facilitate meaningful participation in decision-making, legislative processes, and governance. The platform is available through web, mobile app, and USSD. Now, on our platform, it's equipped with a budget tracker for accountability, a pledge and a campaign promise tracker for transparency, polls for participation in decision-making, e-resources like a digital library for informed participation, and an e-wallet for transparency in public fundraising. The app is available for Android and iOS, and our USSD platform, which also, by the way, is directly translated in local languages for ease of use, is also available. And we also have IVR for inclusivity, especially for people who are blind. Yeah, so I thank you very much for being a good audience.
Lovely, right on time, MamaPay. I'll now be handing over to the judges if they have any follow-up questions. I see Kayode's hand is up. Over to you, Kayode. Okay, I think that's an old hand. Taye?
Okay, yes. Thanks a lot for that presentation. What I would like to know is if you've tested this and not just on the citizen side, but also on the lawmakers and the people in office. Like how have they engaged with this? So can you walk me through how the end-to-end how it has been?
Thank you very much, Tai. I do not see any other hand from the judges, so over to you, MamaPay. Okay, I see Kevin. Sorry, just 1 second before I start the timer. Over to you, Kevin.
Yes, my question is like how will you get the government leaders and people who hold public offices to engage with citizens through your platform?
I would assume you got the question. Thank you very much, Kevin. So I will be starting the timer now. Over to you, MamaPay.
Thank you so much. I'll go straight to the first one that was saying if we've tested this with the leaders. Yes, I just pulled up a screen that shows you this is an account of a certain honorable member of parliament, just for data purposes, demonstration purposes. Yeah, so we did test in Kasese district local government in a very, very fast pilot phase to see how this would play out and then get feedback from both the leaders and the citizens. So literally the quickest feedback that we got, we actually had to act on it, and now we hope to actually roll this out to Parliament. We've already talked to the Speaker directly, and they have what we call a citizen engagement fund, and they already promised that we can actually tap into that fund. Yeah, so that's our phase 2, to be able to actually roll this out big to Parliament. How to get government leaders? Yes, we've already engaged not only the Electoral Commission, but also Parliament, okay? And then, so the promise here is to actually get all the parliamentarians on board, and also to remind you that the way you can, I don't know if you're able to see that, you realize that when a person enrolls on the platform, they're supposed to follow their own leader, but this happens automatically. Once you register with your NIN number, national ID number, the system is already integrated to Electoral Commission, so we automatically know who your leaders are, and the system will help you follow them automatically. So in Parliament, the role is to train Parliament on how they can use this as the main voice to interface with their people. Okay, so if I'm an MP from Kasese district, all I have to do is, if I need people to engage in an opinion poll, I'll put it up on my page, and it will automatically send updates, notifications, either via WhatsApp, or it will automatically send notifications via email or Facebook to whoever is connected or following. And then if they have something to do, they will then log in and know their MP has said something, and then they can do what? Go ahead and respond, okay? So the leaders are taken care of. We train them separately, and the accounts are created and verified as per the Parliament and the governance system in the country. And then also the citizens have to register with their national ID, which automatically has to conform with the voter registration database at the Electoral Commission. So both sides are actually taken care of.
Thank you very much, MamaPay. I see one more judge with a question. You still have about 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Over to you, Janice.
Hi, thank you so much, Precious. So my question is perhaps around the branding of your name. So just wanted to know a little bit of the history of why MamaPay, why the name? Because if I hear MamaPay, I would associate it with like financial services. So very interested to hear a little bit more about that.
All right, thank you very much. So primarily in our primary operations, we started out with the e-wallet. Okay, so the e-wallet were helping with fundraising campaigns, okay, for different leaders, because, to create transparency in fundraising, as opposed to me as a citizen creating a small WhatsApp page, which could be used fraudulently, and I just want to defraud members. So we're engaging leaders and gave them our e-wallet, which they could use centrally as leaders to create one central location for campaigns. But then later, we realized through our research that they needed much more than just the e-wallet, and then, to go beyond. So that's why we actually came up with a product name called eCitizen. And we are actually in the process of registering eCitizen as a separate entity. But, back to your question, we started out with the e-wallet. So we were actually in the business of transactions to help with fundraising for all these political processes. But we shall, we are already doing the paperwork to register eCitizen as a separate entity. So that's how, our journey started. We started out in payments, but ended up helping them out with the rest.
Thank you so much, MamaPay. Very well said and well on time. And I think the judges have no further follow-up questions. I will now be moving on to the next presenter, and I see Up next is MS Training Center for Development Corporation. They are from Tanzania, which is also in East Africa, and will be presenting in English language. Over to you, MS Training Center. Let me just confirm if you would be sharing your screen.
Yes, we will.
Okay, so kindly share your screen so we can start.
All right, just a moment.
No worries.
All right, can I just confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes, it says started screen sharing, so maybe just 10 seconds. Yes, we can see your screen now.
All right.
All right, your time starts now.
This is the Unplugged Series pitch deck presented by myself, Fiona Kemigisha, and Franklin Mireri. Now, the problem we've identified is there is a lack of dedicated spaces where African youth and their leaders can have meaningful discourse on governance and development challenges. And our solution seeks to create that type of space. The ULEAD Unplugged Series Upscale, which is a convergence of podcast technologies, media, social media platforms, high definition audio and visual live streaming to provide an engagement platform that does just that, connect the youth with their leaders. Now, how does this work? One of the things is creating content, both audio and visual, which will be disseminated on all social and podcast platforms. Second is the recordings would take place in each of the EAC member states, which is our target area. Our current Zoom series would proceed as a support program, and we'll have a community activation. Now, some of our key milestones include creating short consumable clips for different social media platforms, to producing and disseminating 2 episodes of the podcast monthly, Together Against Online Hate, a session that we'll host on our Unplugged Zoom platform, Ready to Dare, a monthly article on our website interviewing aspiring youth candidates in Kenya's election, our physical event in Arusha.
And we hope to target more than 100,000 African youth in East Africa and beyond, work with the East African Community Secretariat and policy makers, the AA Youth Program and the AA Youth Envoy's Office, and the AA Youth Ambassadors for Peace. Next. Through the CIVTech support, we would love to move from the current 500 to 1,000 to at least 10,000 to 20,000 youth reached. Next. And we know it can be replicated in other regions across Africa, and the funding will be sustainable after that. Next. Our team involves Fiona Kamigisha, the lead, Kazeneza, Sebastian, Catherine, and myself, Franklin Mireri. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right on time, MS Training. Lovely presentation. Sorry, let me stop my timer. Very well said. Lovely presentation. I'll now be handing over to the judges for any questions. I do not see any hands up at the moment. Okay, I see Janice. Over to you, Jay.
Thank you so much, Precious, and thank you so much, MS Training Center, for that presentation from both of you. Just a question, I think you mentioned that you were looking to kind of deploy your initiative in some of these EAC countries. Is there a plan, or has there been any interaction with the national journalists in these countries, or are you planning to move independently in that space?
Thank you, Janice. I also see Taye's hand up. Taye.
Okay, so my question, if you notice, my question across board has always been, I worked in the education space, so I've always been concerned about the people that you qualify as marginalized. And for something like this, I'm from Nigeria, and I can tell you that, please correct me if I'm wrong, that most people that vote in Nigeria are usually the uneducated. They're usually people that platforms like this will not necessarily reach. So how do you factor people like that into what you're doing? Because those are the people that are easily influenced by a $1, $2 token from people from people vying for office, and then they sell their votes. Because so how, and those are the majority. So how do you factor those people into the solution?
Thank you very much, Taye. I do not see any other hand raised from the judges, so I'll assume that's all we have for now. You have 5 minutes to respond to this question. Your time starts now.
All right, thank you for these questions. I'm going to go ahead and answer Ty's question first, and then Franklin will go ahead with the first question. So regarding reaching the uneducated masses, the rural masses, that is the reason why we have a community activation activity. Taking into consideration the funds that are available, we knew that realistically, we can't be able to do it all over the region. However, in Arusha, in Tanzania, where we already have our team, we already have a base where we already have our connection set up, we'll be able to reach a more rural communities through that community activation. Our partners, Youth Hub Arusha, would be assisting in that community activation. And that's really the one aspect that we want to grow even beyond this particular 6 months. Thank you, Franklin.
Thank you, Fiona. And to answer Janice's question, a very interesting question on the national journalists and whether we have planned to reach out to them or go independent. We realized quite early on in 2020, when we started the initiative, when COVID had just enveloped the world, we realized that there is power in the online influencing space. So from the outset, Fiona and the Unplugged team started bringing in journalists, not to mention names, but from Uganda, from Kenya, from the East African Community region. We've brought in journalists who have hosted actually some of the segments. And even when we are having our convenings, we have been able to request them, can you offer your time to at least share this platform, share some insights, and they have graciously even shared on their platforms on Twitter, said, join us this Thursday at this time, join the ULI team with partners from across the region to discuss pertinent issues on the Tanzanian election that was happening in 2020, on the Ugandan elections. And so, yes, to answer your question, Janice, we have that partnership. We know that we can go far if we go alone, but we can go even further if we leverage on the partnerships that already exist and the journalists out there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, MS Trading Center, for answering the question from the judges. I'm just going to look around to see if there's any follow-up question from any of the judge. Yes, I see Demola's hand up. Over to you, Demola.
Oh, sorry,
okay, I think the hand was raised in error.
Yeah, just go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much, Demola. And thank you to the judges. Just to be sure, the people we have in the room, maybe just down tension just a little bit. If you'd like to tell us who you're here for, because I know all 55 of us are not pitching today. So if you're here for your friends, say I'm here because my friend invited me because she's pitching today or he's pitching today. If you're here because your colleague at work is pitching, if this is your company, if this is your neighbor, just say hello. Let's give a shout out to whoever it is that has pitched or that will be pitching subsequently. I'll just be looking through the chat box to see if there is any comments. Nobody, so everybody here is pitching. Wow. Okay, I think I see one comment. Someone says, hi dear, I'm here to support Sema. Sema, all the best to you today for your pitch. My job colleague Lydia will do a great job. Very well, looking forward to seeing Lydia during the pitch. Someone says, congratulations to anyone. I'm supporting MS Training for Development Corporation. Lovely. Beatrice says, I'm here to support MS Training. Diola says, I'm here to support everyone. Great pitches so far. Now I'm wondering why I am not pitching. Diola, is it too late to submit a proposal because I need to pitch?
We will definitely have your pitch. You can submit your proposal today and we'll organize a special session for you tomorrow.
Leon says, go for it, Precious. Now I'm serious. I am going to submit a proposal. I'm going to have a combination of everybody's ideas so that mine is a winning proposal. I have an idea what everybody's doing now. Damian says, I'm not pitching. I'm here to support the best pitcher. Okay. Looking forward to seeing who the best pitcher is going to be today. Well, unfortunately, there's no best pitchers because we'll have quite a number of people successful from today. Joanne says, I'm here to learn about civic digital tools. We intend to develop some in Kenya. GIZ Good Governance Program. Very lovely. I think this was part of the conversation we had during the info session. It's interesting to see people who are here to learn because I mean, we learn every day. Many people had no idea how to combine civic technology with digitization. Why is that word such a hard word to chew? Lovely. Joanne, okay, I think that's the same comment. Oops, sorry. James says, I'm here to support STEMA. Pleasure to meet all of you. Lovely to meet you too, James. So I think other people are not proud of who they came to support. Okay, someone says, I'm here to support MS Training. MS Training, you recruited everybody in your at the office and your neighbors and friends to come cheer you. Good to see. Fran says, I'm not pitching. I'm excited to see the amazing projects we are funding. Franz, I'm excited as much as you are, trust me. And nobody else. Okay. If you're not proud of those who you came to cheer, that's on you and them. But I am so excited to see all of the interesting conversations that we've been having today. Really lovely pitches, great ideas. And I think the judges would definitely have a hard time. I do not want to be in your shoes right now. I wish both the judges and those pitching all the very best. So we're going to continue now with the next round of pitching. So we heard from MS Training Center from Tanzania. We'll now be going to mylaw.zone. Mylaw.zone is from Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is Southern Africa, and they'll be pitching in English language. Can I confirm that they are in the room? Is there mylaw.zone in the room?
Precious, in the room.
Hello, Justice. Good to have you. I see Justice Block, mylaw.zone. I think you were breaking for a second. Can I just hear you speak again just to be sure you're good to go?
Yeah, hello, Precious. We are here. Can you hear us quite clearly?
Yes, I can hear you now, loud and clear. So would you be sharing your screen or would you be going ahead with your presentation?
I'll be sharing my screen.
All right, over to you.
I hope you can see the screen right now.
Yes, I can see your screen now. Your time starts now.
Oh, all right, thanks a lot. Greetings. My name is Lenny Chisaira from Justice Block. We recently rebranded from MyLawZone, as we indicated in our documents, we're from Zimbabwe. Have you ever wondered why in one region or even district there are people who always feel excluded from government policy decisions, legal and policy making and assistance? Africa is over 70% of its populace being young people, women, and other well-meaning people who are frustrated by the lack of accessible support systems for the active citizen in their palms, in their fingertips, and their smartphones. Various challenges act as roadblocks to our daily participation in public affairs as active citizens. I'm a lawyer and I know just how expensive legal services are and how inaccessible public policy documents are for the ordinary citizen. So what if every African and even global citizen has access to laws, templates, social networking, community groups, and geolocation-enabled reporting systems to send data, community reports, and views to fellow citizens, policymakers, civil society, government institutions, and local authorities? Please meet our Civic tech solution for Africa and the rest of the world. We introduced Justice Block, like I mentioned, we are rebranding from MyLawZone. This is a community data and citizen-led mobile application and website that allows people to communicate securely with each other and policymakers, to open groups for community organizers, and to hold duty bearers to account. Our alert feature is designed to enable people to submit community-derived reports and citizen data. Our Click for Laws features enables people to get access to relevant laws enacted by parliament and by regional bodies, such as the African Charter on Women and People's Rights. Our legal documents feature contains simplified legal and governance templates such as request for information. So what does the African Union Civic Tech Fund offer for us? We intend to provide training workshops for youth leaders and community leaders who will have access to over 100,000 indirect people and users to use our Justice Block Civic digital platforms. We also intend to do draft online templates, to carry out webinars, to do digital marketing, and more importantly, to research and publish
Thank you so much. Your time is up. Thank you very much, Justice Block. You said you're rebranding, so now I don't know what to call you, but I'll stick to MyLaw.zone because that's what I have here. Very well, good presentation. I'll just be looking at the judges now to see if there is any question from any of the judge. Follow up. Yes, I see Demola's hand up. Over to you, Demola.
Thanks, Justice Block. I'm just saying that you probably did not get to it. I was curious about the tech solution in this, but I'm saying that you just did not get to it. So it might be nice to hear a little bit about that.
Thank you very much, Demola. I see Coyote's hand up. Your question, Coyote.
Yeah, it's in line with what Demola asked of what the tech solution is. And I think the other thing I'm trying to understand is, so if I need legal help or aid, if I come to your platform, am I able to get, is it advisory that I'm able to get, or is it more of me being able to get the documentations to help me sort of, defend my case in the court of law. I really just want to understand what level of service will you be offering, really?
Thank you very much, Demola and Kayode. I will now be handing over to Justice Block to answer the question.
Hey, thanks a lot, Precious, and thanks, Kayode and Demola. So yeah, in terms of the tech solution, I think that's the slide right now. We intend to make sure that people, one, they have access to laws, they have access to, to police documents, and also they have access to submit, their views regarding various policies, and also to get in touch with especially with their local authorities. Let's say there's a problem in their community, they are able to use our alert feature, which is on the picture number 2 there, to submit exactly where that is happening, and that will feature on a map, on a global map, so that everyone can have access to such information. And we have already been in touch with this platform, has already been used by communities in coal mining districts such as Wang, and we're actually called to those meetings to meet up with members of parliament and communities to see that interaction. Then when it comes to the kind of assistance is that when we're offering a secure platform, because we're coming from other countries where speaking up may be problematic. So people have the ability to actually open up groups that even us, we can't access because they are very secure, they are encrypted. And in terms of the legal advice that they get, we are trying to make sure that they get the nearest document that they would need in a simplified manner, a template that we have developed, but very simplified so that it's understood by the ordinary person, not just by lawyers. So especially when it comes to policy making, we have a request for information documents. We've realized that people really need to know what their policy makers are up to, what funds are being used for, what budgets are being used for. So the request for information is accessible to everyone for free. People can just download, fill it in, and submit to their next office. We have provided a free advice on there about a paragraph or two where we explain what it is for and how exactly to fill that form.
Thank you very much. I'm also just going to check with the judges if there's any follow-up question to what Justice Block has presented. I see Janice's hand up. She still has about 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Over to you.
Thank you so much. So maybe I think you mentioned something about having discourse or having groups, discussions about specific issues related to the law within the apps. Is that what you're saying, or did I misconstrue what you were saying? So is there spaces for networking and grouping of discussions on the app?
Thanks, Jay. I see Kevin's hand. Sorry, so you addressed the questions together. Over to you, Kevin.
Yes, hello. I'd just like to know if you will have other languages besides English, so everybody in your country can have access to the information. Thank you.
Over to you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Janice, Kevin, and Precious. So in terms of the groups, yes, indeed, we are offering that platform. If you are to download the app right now, there is that access to create groups. So you can either create public groups, just as you do on social media. And we realize that we're targeting a generation that has already been active on social media. So just as you would create secret groups that like we used to do in the past, you can do the same on this platform. And even as the team, we may not be able to see some of the communications that we'll be doing because we want to make it as private as possible. Then when it comes to the issue of languages, the question by Kevin, yeah, we're actually working on making sure that people are able to interact. We're trying to make sure that the languages are as many African languages are accessible, including Swahili, Shona. We're actually working on that right now. At the moment, a person can use English, but we're actually working on ensuring that documents are accessible to everyone, especially in the official African languages.
Thank you very much. Right on time. I see there's no additional question from any of the judge, so I will assume that they are very satisfied with what you've presented so far. Thank you so much for that presentation, and thank you to the judges again. We'll be moving forward to the next presentation. Now you will have to pardon my French, because this innovative idea has a French name. So it's ONG Ouvry Le Horizon. Ish, I hope I got that right. But I will now be giving the floor to you now. Do you have a representative online? Very well, I see you are already trying to share your screen. Great. So they'll be presenting in French, and I'll implore the judges to also use interpretation if you do not speak or understand French. Over to you, your time starts now. Can you hear anything, Demola?
No, I can't. I'm not sure the interpreters.
Okay, yeah, I'm also
interpreter
trying to
is
see.
muted.
Sorry, please can the interpreter unmute? Because I also cannot hear. Okay, so I think the problem is from the presenter. Okay, so can we just confirm if the representative can kindly unmute? I see they are unmuted, but for some reason we cannot hear them. Can you try speaking again, please? Okay, I think that's a technical issue. We'll come back to that. Maybe we'll take the next presenter while they sort out their technical issues. So the next presenter is also a French civic tech solution. Again, I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's RFLD, and they're from Benin. Benin is in West Africa. Do you have a representative, please?
Yes.
Okay, and you're sharing your screen, yeah? So we confirm it's not from the previous presenter.
Yes.
Okay, very well then. So I am just going to restart the timer and your time starts now.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Agued Osisekon Gloria, présidente du réseau des femmes leaders pour le développement, et je présente notre initiative Civic Tech. Alors, notre initiative Civic Tech vise à créer une application numérique qui permettra aux jeunes d'avoir accès à la charte africaine de la jeunesse, aux initiatives de l'architecture de la gouvernance africaine et également aux ressources digitales qui leur permettront de se ressourcer, d'acquérir des connaissances par rapport à la gouvernance, la démocratie et la participation des jeunes. Et pour cela, nous organisons 20 podcasts sur la gouvernance, l'inclusion dans l'Afrique de l'Ouest et sur diverses thématiques. Nous allons également traduire la charte africaine de la jeunesse en français et en anglais. Et également, nous aurons une formation des journalistes sur la gouvernance et la participation des jeunes. Et une fois cette formation terminée, elle sera disponible et reliée à notre application et les jeunes pourront revenir là-dessus pour se former comme une formation et se ressourcer comme un cours MOOC. Cette plateforme permettra également aux organisations de la société civile jeunes de pouvoir partager leurs idées, leurs interactions et interagir également avec l'architecture de la gouvernance africaine. Nous aurons également des messages clés des autorités de l'AGA. Nous aurons également des œuvres antérieures de l'AGA. Notre idée Civic Tech est éduquer, changer les mentalités pour interagir avec l'architecture. Merci.
Thank you very much. That was really short and sweet, right on time, just before the timer went off. I'll be looking at the judges now to see if they have any follow-up questions. I see Janice's hand up. Over to you, Jay.
Thank you so much, Precious, and thank you so much for that presentation. I think I see that overall it's more of an app, and you can clarify if you said that it's been developed or you're looking to develop it, that focuses on connection and discussion spaces. I think what I wanted to understand is, given that the main overarching idea is looking through and discussing the African Youth Charter, what exactly is your target audience? Are they youth groups? Are they just young people in general? Is it country specific? Is it global? Is it what exactly? Who are your target niche areas?
Thank you. Our target.
Just hold on, my dear. Let me see if there's any other question from any of the judges. Demola, do you have any follow-up questions? Taye, Kayode. Okay. I see there are no hands up, so over to you.
Thank you. Our target group is young people, and the focus of the app is in West Africa. It is West Africa regional, and it has a focus on human rights defenders, young people, women, and also CSOs in West Africa in terms of civic engagement and also governance. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that very concise response. I do not see any other question, so no other hand raised from any of the judges. Very well then. We'll be moving on to the next pair. The next person to present, or well, the next group or initiative that will be presenting is SEMA. SEMA is from Uganda. Uganda is in East Africa. They'll be presenting in English. I see we had quite a lot of people here to cheer SEMA. All the best with your pitch. Over to you.
Thank you.
Would you like to share your screen?
Yes, hope you can see it now.
Yes, we can see. So your time starts now.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. I'm Lydia Mate, SEMA's Country Director in Uganda, joined by my colleagues Natalie and James Mark. Thank you for the opportunity to talk about the Civic Tech Fund in Africa to upscale our successful initiative called SEMA, which means speak in Swahili. The problem is that citizens have no way of giving meaningful feedback. And on the other side, the government has no way of gathering this feedback from citizens. Our solution is quite simple. We've got feedback devices, which are locally made in Uganda out of recycled plastics. We've got on-site surveys by trained data collectors, which is a network of students. At the end of the month, we deliver monthly reports, which are customized to all the institutions where we are at. SEMA matters because we are creating accountable and transparent institutions where we allow every citizen, irrespective of their level of literacy, to participate in improving service delivery. We've also got youth who would want to become the future of civic tech leaders. We're also working towards Agenda 2063, Aspiration 3, and SDG 610. So far, we are active at 50 public stations, which include courts of law, police stations, and municipal offices and health centers. We've signed 4 paid government contracts in Uganda and Kenya with the Ministry of Justice and the Kampala City Council Authority. We have over 1,075 users who have used the SEMA system. That means that we have no more suggestion boxes or Chinese technology here in East Africa, but we've got locally made devices that are assembled here in Uganda. We've got a team of 14 great, ambitious staff. Our ask from you today is 20,000 euro to support our upscaling in 3 areas: expanding our feedback tools, scaling up in Kenya, and professionalizing our youth traineeships program. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Right on time. Thank you very much, SEMA Initiative, for that presentation. I will now be handing over to the judges to see if they have any follow-up questions. I see Ty's hand up. Yes, over to you, Ty.
Hey, Sema. So my question is around. I'm concerned about the relevance of what it is that you're building. Can you please share if any level of government has expressed interest in collecting feedback from citizens because of that will help them with their duties? Has any one of them expressed interest in collecting feedback?
Okay, I didn't.
Thank you very much, Ty. He's asking if there's any government official that has indicated interest in collecting feedback. I think that's your question, Ty.
Yes, that's my question.
Very well. I also see Kevin's hand up. Kevin, your question, please.
I'd like to know if you face any challenges in manufacturing the tools, the machines for your initiative.
Okay.
That's the second question. We have one more question from Kayode.
Okay, thanks. I think it's follow-up also to Kayode's question. If you can share what some of the examples have been in terms of outcome for this. So when you share this back with the government, are there, examples you can also share of what has then sort of happened following up from these surveys or from this data that you've been able to capture?
Thank you very much to the judges. So Sema, you have 5 minutes to respond to the question and your time starts now.
Okay, thank you. I'll start with the very last question. We have been able to see waiting times reduced by 80% and by 70%, and we've also seen satisfaction levels increased by 80% at the institutions where we are at. From the government institutions, we have received and we've gotten we've received thank yous because we've seen institutions, because we do impact tracking, so we go back and check, is the SEMA system helpful at all? And we have seen, for example, from the courts of law, they have now, because of the waiting times, they've devised ways in which to reduce the waiting times and change ways in which cases are heard. So initially, when it comes to the challenges, initially, because of issues like corruption, some people are hesitant to receive the SEMA system. But when they open up and realize how it works, it's been a long journey, especially one of creating trust. So with the trust available from both the citizens and the government, we find that the challenges are kind of been solved in one way or the other. And with time, when the relationship is built, it becomes welcoming. So government institutions definitely would want, when they hear about SEMA from their colleagues, they welcome the idea and say, how about you come? When are you coming to our office? When do you want to start? Because they know that what it means to them. They can improve their service delivery at the end of the day. And they've also received promotions because of the recommendations that we have given to them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You actually still have 3 more minutes if you have any additions to make. Janice, is this a new hand? Okay, I see Janet has a question for you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lydia, for your presentation. So I think maybe my question is maybe around, because you have a lot of these feedback tools that are physical in nature and your stations are physical in nature. So just a question around what exactly you've had to do to ensure that COVID-19 regulations and protocol associated with health, how has that affected your budget and your funding moving forward, and how has that been received? Has that affected the way people receive these feedback tools?
Okay, thank you very much. During this time, we had to devise new ways of collecting feedback. We relied on the toll-free lines and the USSD line. And then also our devices, I've got one at the back, we started putting sanitizer on them. So while we were locked up at home, we still received information through a USSD code, toll-free lines, and the feedback device.
Very well said, Lydia. Thank you very much. I do not think there's any additional follow-up question from any of the judges. I'll now be proceeding to the next presenter. So just before we go to our, supposed official last presenter for today, I'll just circle back to the 2 people who we missed earlier. Do we have a representative from Malawi Local Government Association now? I do not see anybody from the Malawi Local Government Association. Okay. All right. I think we also skipped one presentation, and that's the ONG Ouvry Le Horizon. Do they want to reattempt their presentation? Okay, I do not see anybody from there as well. Is anyone trying?
Oui, je suis là. Bonjour tout le monde.
Okay, great. It's good to have you back. All right, good morning. Welcome. Would you like to share your screen? Or are you going ahead with your presentation?
Au fait,
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. Okay, I think we're having some technical issues from their end. So we'll go on to the next presenter.
Hello.
And that is, yes, I can hear you. Sorry, the internet is really unstable from your end. Can you hear us now? Okay,
oui,
so
maintenant je vous entends.
Okay, so maybe let's give it a try and let's see if the internet would not betray us.
D'accord, je ne sais pas, vous me recevez maintenant?
Okay. Yes.
Voilà, je disais tantôt, je pense que mon ordinateur a un problème. Je voulais, comme j'ai partagé la présentation, je vous ai partagé, je voulais que vous partagez à partir de là-bas et moi j'interviens parce que je suis maintenant sous téléphone.
Okay, very well. My colleague will be sharing her screen now with your presentation. Just give us 20 seconds. Okay, just give us 1 second. We're trying to pull up the presentation. Yes, thanks, Leon. I think Nadia has found it. As I can see, she's sharing her screen. Very well. You can let us know when you're ready to start and we can start the timer. Is that okay?
D'accord, madame, vous pouvez aller à la deuxième diapositive. Et là, vous pouvez commencer. Je peux démarrer?
Yes, go ahead.
Bien. Vous pouvez démarrer au niveau du problème. La Guinée est plongée dans une période exceptionnelle depuis le coup d'État militaire du 5 septembre 2021. Après quelques jours, les nouvelles autorités ont promis la refondation de l'État à travers la mise en place des institutions, notamment le Conseil national de la transition, qui aura la lourde tâche de proposer le chronogramme de la durée de la transition, l'élaboration de la nouvelle constitution et les élections présidentielles. Toute l'attention des populations guinéennes reste braquée vers la mise en place, le fonctionnement et la composition de ce conseil qui devra décider des nouvelles destinées du pays. Face à cette situation, il s'avère plus que nécessaire d'accompagner cette institution par un mécanisme de suivi, de participation citoyenne, de transparence et de redevabilité, d'où la mise en place de la plateforme Le Peuple. Le peuple se veut comme un observatoire du CNT constituant l'organe législatif de la Guinée en remplacement de l'Assemblée nationale au cours de la période transitoire. Il a pour but de suivre, accompagner les travaux de cet organe en les rendant plus accessibles. Il vise à offrir aux citoyens via la plateforme en ligne et les réseaux sociaux un accès libre et simple aux informations liées à l'exercice politique des membres du CNT et à l'élaboration des projets de loi, les permettant ainsi de mieux comprendre le fonctionnement du CNT et d'évaluer ses membres. Le projet, à travers son travail d'observation, vise à garantir un processus législatif efficace, participatif et transparent. La plateforme Le Peuple se présentera donc comme un registre des membres du CNT. Elle comprendra entre autres des informations biographiques des membres, le taux de participation et inclusion des femmes et jeunes, des propositions, les résultats des votes au CNT, des interventions faites par les membres du Conseil, des vidéos de retranscription directe des séances plénières et des réunions des commissions via des live Twitch, des Facebook Live et des YouTube Live. Les réponses des membres du CNT collectées à l'issue des questions posées par les citoyens dans la rubrique questions-réponses de la plateforme. Ces questions peuvent s'adresser donc à un seul membre ou à un groupe de membres. Des registres de présence, des agendas et les procès-verbaux des sessions ou réunions. Je vous remercie pour votre attention.
Thank you very much. Maybe we can give the interpreter 20 seconds to interpret any other last thing you remember he said just before we hand over to the judges. 10 seconds, please. Just the interpreter. Okay, I was saying since you were struggling, if you still remember anything you would like to add to what you had said earlier, but that's fine. So I think, I know I can imagine, sincere apologies. So I think the judges have some questions as I see Demola's hand up. Over to you, Demola.
Thank you. Unfortunately, there was some break where I was watching, so perhaps it might be useful to speak a little bit to some of the tech component of what he was presenting. I know that I heard a little about, questions and feedback on Facebook and WhatsApp and all of that. But it would be interesting.
Okay, so I hear Demola's question. I'm directing the questions, please. Okay, see Demola is muted.
Vous pouvez répondre, s'il vous plaît, vous pouvez reprendre, je n'entends pas.
Yes. Sorry. Let me repeat the question. Can you hear me? Okay.
Oui, c'est bon, je vous entends.
Great. No, I was saying that I think it was disconnected a little bit when we were speaking about the tech component of it. And I would be interested to hear a little bit more around that. I know there are elements of Facebook and WhatsApp and using those platforms, but it would be interesting to find out if there are unique owned media and platforms that.
D'accord. Merci beaucoup. Je disais tantôt en termes de fonctionnement, c'est qu'au niveau de la plateforme, on va retrouver des informations biographiques des membres et le taux de participation des femmes et des jeunes. Ensuite, il y aura des interventions faites par les membres du conseil à travers des vidéos de retranscription directe des séances plénières et des réunions qui vont se faire au niveau du Conseil national de la transition. Et ces vidéos seront retransmises en direct à travers des live tweets, des Facebook Live et des YouTube Live. Donc, le citoyen qui est là, qui n'a pas la possibilité de participer aux séances au niveau du CNT, peut, à travers les réseaux sociaux, avoir les informations sur ce qui se passe au niveau du Conseil national de la transition. Et il y a également la question, la rubrique au niveau de la plateforme, nous allons avoir une rubrique questions-réponses où un citoyen qui a besoin, par exemple, des questions concernant un membre ou un groupe de membres par rapport à une décision ou bien par rapport au vote d'une loi, peut les poser la question et nous faisons en sorte que l'élu ou bien le conseiller puisse répondre directement le citoyen en question par rapport à la question qu'elle ne comprend pas, qu'il ou elle ne comprend pas.
Thank you very much, ONG, Ouvry Le Horizon, and the interpreter. I think both of you did the presentation here. I will now see if any of the judge has any additional question. Janice, Taye, Kayode, any follow-up questions? Okay, I do not see any hands up, so I would assume the judges are satisfied with your presentation and have nothing more to add. I see that our colleagues from Malawi Local Government Association have joined us. Can I ask if Malga is ready for their presentation? I do not know who exactly is presenting, but I see 4 devices connected with the same name, Malawi Local Government Association, Malga. Would you like to take the floor?
Hello, this is Vincent from Malga. I just wanted to prepare to share the presentation. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. You can share your presentation.
Okay, just a moment. Yeah.
No problem. Is it just me, or does anybody else not see the presentation yet?
No, Precious. I can't see the presentation yet.
Yeah.
Okay, Malawi Local Government, are you having technical issues sharing? Should we share from our end? Okay, I think I see it now. Okay, so let me know when you're ready to start. Are you good to go? I do not hear this.
I'm good to go.
Okay, then your time starts now.
Okay, my name is Vincent Kumwenda. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of MHub, a technology and innovation hub operating out of Malawi, which is in partnership with Malawi Local Government Association, MALGA. We are presenting a solution that we've come up with, which is called ICT for Accelerating Civic Engagement in Malawi. In Malawi is one of the countries that has been registering very high voter turnout for a number of years every time that we have elections. But immediately after elections, there's always a challenge between the citizens engaging with election or like office bearers that they've been elected at election time. So we've come up with a solution that will bridge the gap that is there between citizens and public officials through a platform called Mzinda. So the platform it's been around for some time, but the idea is to leverage the use of technology to engage office bearers in terms of service delivery, following up on projects in different city councils across the country. But for this particular project, we are targeting the city of Mzuzu to basically deliver this platform that people should be able to engage local government officials in Malawi by following up on what's going on in terms of the projects, and people can report on various issues. So we're using technology in form of web, SMS, and a mobile app that ordinary people can send messages to the platform, and the public officials can be able to react to those messages. This is how it looks like on the platform. You'll be able to—
Thank you so much. That is time off from my timer. Thank you very much for that presentation. I think you will have a little bit more time to respond if the judges have any follow-up questions for you. So now I'm looking at Eva, I'm looking at Demola, Janice, Kevin. Okay, I see Kevin. Over to you, Kevin.
Yes, hello. Yes, hello. I would just like you to explain how the app works, and thank you.
Sorry, I didn't get the question, Kevin. I don't know if anybody else heard him.
Yes,
Can you hear me now?
I heard
okay,
him, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. We'll take the second question from Kayode then.
Okay, so basically, citizens send an SMS to a given short code, and then addressing a specific issue from Mzuzu City Council. They can also access the platform on a web platform, www.mzinda.com, which is called My City in Malawi. They can also access a mobile app where they can send a message, take a picture of what they want to report on. So they can report on water, electricity, sanitation, or what is going on with public expenditure tracking in the particular city council. And the city council officials are able to respond within the platform, but also directly to the issues that have been raised in that. What we're proposing is an evidence-based approach to addressing developmental issues at local government level. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I see Taye's hand is up. Taye, over to you.
Okay, so I'm concerned about how the policymakers, how they interact with this from their end. How do they do that? Can you please walk through it?
Yes, great question. So for the past 4 years, we've been training councillors and officials at city council level who have been using the platform. They have access to the back end of the platform, but they also get notifications if a message that is directly addressing their needs or issues that fall within their space are being tackled on the platform. So they respond to the messages either through the platform or even directly to the one who sent a message, but also reacting to the actual issues. So it could be an issue of refuse collection. There's a report that has come in. You will see, I think, as we go through the presentation, there is platforms where you can be able to see reports, where reports would go. There's a number that is given, and then the reports are published live on the platform. So they can be able to follow, and they're categorized based on maybe social protection, health, local governance, or all that. So it's as much as we are running it, but the officials take ownership of it through the Malawi Local Government Association, which is a grouping of all the local government authorities in Malawi. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Malga. Very well said. And thank you to the judges for the questions. I do not see any hand raised. So I think that is going to be all from the judges for Malga. We'll now be proceeding to, unfortunately, the last and final presentation for today. We're going to be seeing Sim Participation. They're from Morocco, North Africa, and they'll be presenting in French. Over to you, Sim.
Thank you, Precious. I'll be presenting in English, if that's okay. I will not be sharing my screen.
That is fine, absolutely. So let me know when you're ready to go, and then I can restart the timer.
Great, we can start now. Hello, my name is Ismail Sok. I'm the Executive Director of Sim Participation Citoyenne. In 2014, Sim launched Nuabok.email, which is a platform that aims to bridge the gap between Moroccan citizens and their representatives in parliament, facilitate citizens' access to parliamentary information, and foster collaborations between parliamentarians and civil society in policy and legislation. When we started, we sent an email to 395 parliament members asking them to join our platform. We only received one answer. Now we work with parliamentarians from all the represented political parties in parliament, and they use our assistance to record podcasts to tell their constituents about their work. They participate in our Facebook Live town hall meetings to discuss policy and legislation with the public, and they receive and respond to citizens' questions on our platform. We train journalists on parliamentary reporting to provide timely and credible information on Parliament's work, assisted the Chamber of Representatives in launching a more advanced version of its website, and we organize workshops on Parliament and in-person discussions between parliamentarians and citizens. We've also worked with partner CSOs to turn their advocacy campaigns into law proposals that were later supported and submitted in Parliament by Parliament members. We would like to continue to give citizens a voice in Parliament and build their trust in the representative institutions and ensure that conversations about legislation and policy are meeting their needs. This is why we plan to update the Nuwabook platform by updating the information of newly elected members of Parliament, developing a parliamentary monitoring section, and hosting developed resources on Parliament for the benefit of citizens, journalists, and civil society organizations. The development of the platform will be done in a participatory way, and it will aim to make it more accessible, user-friendly, and open source. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sim. Participation right on time. My timer hasn't even gone off yet, so you are doing very great with time. I am going to be looking at the judges now. I'm going to be looking at Janice, Kayode, Eva, Taye, Kevin for any follow-up questions. Yes, Janice.
Thank you so much for that presentation. So I think my question is more around, you mentioned that there's questions that are put through by citizens on the platform. How responsive, or what's the response rate that they receive on the questions? You're muted.
Thank you, Janice. I was actually just going to see if there was anybody else with follow-up questions before he takes that. Okay, going once, going twice. Over to you, Sim.
Yeah, I think in the beginning it was very difficult, as I mentioned, in 2014, because it was the first time there would be a civil society organization jumping in and asking parliamentarians to be on the platform to receive citizens' questions. So I think building the trust was a very important element here. I'd say that we had between 40 and 45% response rate since we started. But what's been interesting is that as I mentioned, we've worked with Parliament to update their platform. So now we've moved the question and response from our platform, and they have it on their platform. So parliamentarians can receive questions from citizens on Parliament's platform. So that's something we want to stop doing, because we've managed to move it to Parliament and they've integrated in their platform. And now parliamentarians will receive the questions through their parliamentary email.
Thank you very much, Sim. I think I do not see any other hand from any of the judges. So I would like to assume at this point that there is no...
Sorry. Hi, Precious.
Yes, Taye. Hi.
Yes. So my question is around what happens after the parliamentarians get discussed on. Do you by any chance track what is being discussed and its implementation?
Yeah, so the way we did it is we did a user experience study on the website of Parliament, and we delivered it to them, and they've used the recommendations to update their platform. We've told them that we're going to track the new functionalities on their website, but now we've just have a new Parliament come, because we had legislative elections recently. So we're giving it some time for the website to be online. We are asking to give us the data, because that's not something we have access to. Parliament has all the access to their data, like who asks the questions on the website, do parliamentarians respond? So we're waiting to leave it online at least for another 6 months before we get the data for them and we start tracking the functionalities on the new website.
Thank you very much, Ismail. Let me stop calling you Sim because I actually like the name Sim. I do not see any hand again. Okay. Very well. I
Thank
would like to
you.
thank sorry, I was muted by who? For being our last and final presenter for today. I think I really did enjoy all of the pitches. So I am going to go to the chat box again. Let's see those people who have left us on their computer and gone to fry plantain or eat jollof rice. If you're still here with us, kindly let us know who you came here to cheer. Is it your friend? Is it your colleague from work? Is it your boss who is presenting? Cheer your boss if you want your salary to be paid at the end of the month. Is it your neighbor? Is it your family? Who are you here supporting today? And how do you feel about being here? Did you enjoy the pitching? Let's see. Nobody's excited to be here. Okay. Let us see. I'm going to give it a few more seconds to see who is supporting who or who is rooting for who for this during the pitch today. Fabri said, I'm excited to be here. Very well done, Vincent from Malga. Great to see. Fabrice, who are you here to root? Who are you rooting for? I'm not seeing anybody rooting for anybody. Me, I'm rooting for everyone because I really did enjoy the presentation today. Justice says great facilitation, precious. Thank you very much, Justice. MS Training says I'm here for MST CDC. Wonderful hearing all the presentation and supporting all of the good initiatives. Malga says well done from Malga. Very good. So Nadia says I'm rooting for the judges. They don't have the hardest task. Right now, I do not want to be a judge. I've dreamt of being a judge, but right now I will turn down that offer for any money in the world. I see that it's going to be a really hard task for the judges to come up with our finalists. But I'm excited to hear all of the beautiful civic tech initiatives that we have presented today, and I honestly wish everyone all the best. If we could, we'll pick everybody because I mean, all of the initiatives were great. Charles says he's rooting for you, Lee 21 alumni. Oh, alum from here for MSTCDC. Lovely, great to see. This was also streaming live on YouTube. I'm just going to see if there's anybody rooting for anybody there. I do not see anything. So just before we call this a close, just before we bring this to a beautiful end, I'll be handing over to Franz. Oops, sorry, the camera was still on. Sincere apologies. I'll be handing over to Franz to give us his closing remarks just before we leave. Over to you, Franz.
So am I able to switch on my video?
Yes, please. It would be great to see you.
Well, I think it says the moderator would need to enable this.
Sorry, tech team, could you please enable, allow Franz to share his video? I think you should be able to now, Franz. Please try again.
Thank you so much. All right, so I mean it's been a long day. I admire your endurance, Precious, and great facilitation, really. I don't know, for me it was just amazing to follow the pitches, and there is a lot we can learn from that. I mean, I was previously, before I came to Africa, involved in a number of European civic tech initiatives, and I believe there is a lot of great ideas out there we can learn from. And now in the follow-up of this, I'm very excited about how we will select and promote and fund and technically support the winning proposals. There is so much good material in there. It's going to be a very hard decision for the judges. I don't envy them at all, and I'm very thankful for all the different sides, also for Demola for facilitating this, for making this possible, for EPD and for Code for Africa, and anybody else who contributed to this success. It was amazing to see this, and now I'm getting even more excited about what will come next. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Franz, and thank you for turning on your camera. I think all of the participants were excited to see you, as I was. I see a comment from the chat box saying I was shortlisted for phase 2, but I didn't succeed to the pitching stage. I would like to say, on behalf of the African Union Commission, GIZ, EPD, that this was really a very competitive process. There were tons of applications from all over the continent, and it has been a very hard decision. So I would like to congratulate you for making it to phase 2, getting shortlisted or longlisted. I would also like to congratulate especially everybody who made it for the pitching session or who got shortlisted to pitch, because honestly, it wasn't easy to make it out of all of the applications from all over the continent. So good job, good luck, give yourself a pat on the back. I think the nerves will calm down, well, not until the results are out, but at least you'll feel a lot better. Go out, have some time with your friends, family, celebrate. Well, celebrate anyway, because you're all winners for coming and making it to this stage. Thank you so much, everyone. I want to especially thank all of the judges. Thank you, Janice. I see your camera on. It's been a very long session today. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you very much, Demola, as well. I would like to thank Kayode, to thank Eva, to thank Chaye and Kevin for sticking with us up until now. We'll communicate with you, so look out for an official communication. Like Janice mentioned, there's going to also be a release where the final pitches or those who were successful from this round will be announced. Until then, I wish you all the very best with all of your initiatives. Thank you so much for joining us. And from us on this end, over and out.
Hi, everyone.